learn from her. So much. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you, Poppy and Susan. I always hear these stories every 6 months. Every 6 months we hear such stories. To pick from what Poppy said, everyone needs a mentor. That's what they say. The authorities of the mentoring, they say everyone needs a mentor. There's a book called Everyone Needs a Mentor. So what I always think is, what if everyone does that? Everyone in the whole world. If they do what they are doing together, what could the world would be? What could it be? Peace.
Harmony.
So we are trying to do that in our own capacity. But if we cascade this, if we just spread it across the board, we can make a difference. I truly believe we can make it. Thank you again. Now, the next speakers are Dantan, I can't read without glasses. Dantan, isn't it? Yeah. And Lina.
Use this one.
Speaker is Trevor.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, I'm up here with my mentee. Sometimes I would stand there and get out on the feet. It's a thing of my imagination. I think, looking back, I can honestly say that this wonderful gentleman here, Halo, has given us so much opportunity. It has paired us all off with the right people. It's taught me something, and being with people that you feel didn't really need to be here because they've got the ammunition, they've got everything there that they really need, but they've lack of belief in themselves. And it was a challenge for myself, as well as the team, wonderful team as everyone can say, great group of teams here. Meeting every Saturday. Saturday will never be the same now. Having great discussions, feedback from everyone. One thing that got me was, every Saturday when we met up, listening, as I am today, to the successful story and experiences that everyone's had. For me at some point, as Camila would say, and many others, it was frustrating. The experiences that I've had that I disclosed with everyone else. You've set the rules, you've made mentees. It's just showing me the other side of how the relationship with mentors and mentees, although it's a lovable one, the person themselves has got a lot to deal with, whether it's fear of being ridiculed by family, things that they didn't want their family to know about going through this pathway, this journey. And for most of the team, as you've heard today, it's been a melodious journey of success. For me, it's a roller coaster, but of success in some way. We reached the goal. But I've written down a few things, just to give you an insight of the mentee that I had. He was a highly educated, intellectual, with a river of information that swiftly flowed from his mouth like the river that flowed along the Niagara Falls. I analysed him as being a well-read scholar, with a measurable amount of valuable information, and he showed his immense knowledge and love for jazz, black history and English literature. He knew quite a lot. My mentee was like a treasure chest of golden opportunities with a network of acquaintances that seemed to have misplaced the key, failing to release the valuable amount of information that could be utilised towards his potential. On our first encounter, all of 2 hours, 22 minutes and 27 seconds very carefully.
Don't start me off forever.
He reminded me of a thoroughbred horse bursting to be released out the gates, but had fear of jumping over his first hedge, subconsciously building a mental barrier with the repetitive word of but. building a wall to which he couldn't climb. His thoughts may be his own enemy, with those negative thoughts being his greatest barrier. My first task was to encourage him to slowly diminish and remove the word but from the vocabulary. By doing so, hoping to reduce his barrier to a manageable obstacle, to which I did my endeavour best to prepare for him for his first hurdle towards his goal. Now, the sort of relationship me and my mentor had, I brought so much out of him on the first meeting. He was holding so much back. He was a medic, came from a family of barristers. And what I found within those 2 hours, he had a lot of pride. There's a lot of things there he didn't want his family to know about. He even had dreams at this stage of life of getting back into law because he felt that his brothers, his father, they're all barristers, and he felt that even though he was a doctor, he felt he let them down by going into medicine. And he told me that he felt that he didn't want to let his family know what he was about to do, get into law, study for 3 years, in fear of being ridiculed. So all these sort of things that I encountered, frustrating. Every week we're coming, we're discussing how the week's been, every mentors, I spent 2 hours with theirs, I spent no time with mine. It was on the phone, we'd call him up, we'd make appointments, he'd say, yes, I'll be there. I remember the first appointment we made to meet at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. He was enthusiastic about it and everything. 11 o'clock came that day, I was standing there was no one there. I spoke to Hayley about it, and I think the good thing about the relationship Hayley and myself had is after a few sessions I spoke to Hayley and I said, this isn't happening. And I was looking at it the wrong way, because everyone else had good experiences. What's happening? You're pairing me up with this guy. He doesn't need me. And he said, quite calmly, as calm as he is, be patient, my friends. And I sort of came out and we was saying to other I said, be patient. How patient could I be? Week after week. And he said, I understand the frustration, but speak to him, be calm, be patient. That word stuck in my mind for so long. But it was a good thing that I followed what Hayley said, because patience is a virtue. I found, even if it wasn't for the mentee, for myself, I found an in-depth knowledge of myself and of where I want to go, by helping him, and not just him, but others as well. It was a stepping stone. And sometimes it's good to go through this roller coaster ride, be thrown at the deep end, because in life sometimes you can have things in education, in anything you do, so smoothly. And to be faced with a challenge, I've almost got amongst my own pride that this can't be happening to me. I don't want this. I want, like everyone else, a smooth run, a nice smooth ride that I can walk out and say, yeah, I sorted that out, But it wasn't like that at all. And so for me, it was also a challenge. Also, within that 2 hours of talking to him, I found that his work was an anchor securely fastened into a port of resentment to which he no longer wanted to be a part of, which hindered him from processing or manoeuvring to a haven of his dream of anchorage. He wanted to make that first step to get out of it. He's married, he had a child, he was working all hours, 7 days a week sometimes, he said. And in this day and age, you would think someone with his background, his calibre, his intellect, that computer skills, just knowing how to email, just knowing how to use a computer, when someone comes to you with that calibre and says, I don't know how to use it, you have to take a step back and say, that can't be true. You're a young guy, why? But he said, I had to take his word for it, that he didn't know how to use it, and he was a bit ashamed of that. Anyway, so going from there, we went on to a long journey of just saw him once or twice, just pure phone calls, which, like I said, was frustrating. And there were times where, even more frustrating, where you make a phone call, you don't hear from him, and you're out shopping, and you see him, sitting at the table, talking to his friends in the shop, talking about being a mentor. And myself and Minalea, we stood there. No, don't say anything. Let's listen to this. And he's talking how he wants to mentor. He's encouraging people in the shop about being mentors. And when he saw us, it was a bit, I was about to phone you, I was about to phone you. And he led us out of the shop because obviously he didn't want his friends to know that he was being mentored himself. So these are sort of things that, as a mentor in a relationship, although we had a good relationship, that you would find it's not always a smooth run. It's not always a smooth ride. And I think sometimes it's important to see the other side of life, the not so smooth life, to understand for yourself how to deal with situations such as this in sort of in other situations further on in life. And I've learned a lot. It's a learning curve for me, in the sense of Haley many times. Being patient, it is a virtue, and I've learned a lot about myself as well. And it's not hindered me, I've not been downhearted by it, or it's in fact inspired me to carry on to go more, because I feel that I've gone in the deep end. So from here, it should hopefully be much amazing. But anyway, I'd like to, must thank Poppy, because she helped me quite a lot to stay on that road and say, look, don't give up, it's nonsense. You can do this. Just because it's not going smoothly, you can make it work for yourself. And also for the rest of the team on Saturdays, the encouragement, the feedback, it's all really important as well. I've met some wonderful people here, which we all stayed away together. And Halu, once again, without you, we wouldn't be finding that other dimension that we have inside us. So,
as I said at the beginning, was mentors mentees benefit. So that's how we measure success. It's not a hard measure that counts, it's also the software. What has gone inside you is the success itself, So thank you very much for revealing all that. And we need to support that guy as well. We still support him. If he comes even now, he needs support, real support, of course. But our goal is to okay, the next one is Sharifa and Shabnam. This is a very interesting story. They are both mentees. They came to a session where mentees, mentors have group sessions separately. And these mentees came together and discussed something. And they just exchanged information about setting up businesses. So I just suggested, if you can do that, then that's fine. Tell us your stories about two of you. Two mentees again telling stories together. But unfortunately, both of them couldn't make it today. They can't make it. So we couldn't hear the story. But otherwise, we would have a different story altogether. The mentees taking their own initiative together as well, without the need of a mentor. So let's go to let's proceed with the next. Has Mamadou has not arrived. He's going to, and he will join us in a minute. He told me that he will come. So let's keep Mamadou and Devon for later until Mamadou comes. So let's proceed with Muriel and Helga. That's right. Muriel and Helga.
My name is I'm original from Angola, so I've been in this country for 1 year. So when I came to this country, I couldn't speak any English, so it was difficult. I was trying to find a job, and so it was difficult because I couldn't understand what they were speaking, some people. And so my friend, I'm living with my friend. And so he was telling me, get your time, everything will come out. So somebody from my church brought me here. And so introduced to the Bible. So I don't know if you know. And so the first time, so it was very difficult. Then they introduced me to Noel. Noel, we have been meeting for the past 6 months, and so I was worried about because I couldn't find a job. That was my main. So Noel told me, don't stress yourself because, you know, in this country, we have to learn something, go step by step, which was very hard to me because I was living with a family without money, without anything. So I just say, let me go back to Portugal. So at the same time, when I was thinking go back to Portugal, I know that things are pretty bad here. There's no job, that's why I decided to come on. I improve a lot my English because I find a school. They are teaching me because I was enrolled in the English class. So I spoke with Noah and I said, let me learn English first. And then maybe I will improve my CV and then I will be able to compete in America to find a job. So Noel said, okay, you want to do that, you can do that. So I find Noel a very good person and always being helpful to me and kind of person. Whatever I was decided to do, Noel said, you can do step by step. Don't stress yourself because I have been living in this country for so long. I was taking all that he was saying to me. And basically what I have learned is we need one another to support one another. So otherwise, basically what I'm trying to say is, as a mentee, I learned that I have to be calm down. Don't stress because this is a new society. You have to be able to understand what they are saying. And at the beginning it was very hard because to pick it up, the accent for some people was difficult. This is like, I said, I go there, they speak like that. I go there, they speak. Different accents. I said, I don't know who's speaking right, but so basically that was it. And thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Thank you.
Firstly, I'd like to say, coming on to the week mentor, the mentor. Myself, before I actually started doing mentoring, was engaged in doing a counselling course. So I was coming to the end of that. And I'm going on to year 2 of it. So doing mentoring was, very helpful to me in some respect, the work I'm prepared to do. Meeting up with Helga, I met him, like he just said, he didn't understand the language that well. He actually got on a course with maths and English. He'd actually done IT as well, which I'm pleased to say that all the courses within the last 6 months that he actually attempted to do, he's passed them all.
Well done.
The last one he done was the IT, and it was coming to the end of my mentoring program. And it And just last week he had a test for the IT, and he passed that. So I was pleased that he actually conquered all three of them. Now he's actually hoping to do the next one customer service. But that one won't start until August. And he said he wants to do customer service as well. But in the meantime, he's learning his English. And he's, you know, when I first met him till now, I mean, I'm pleased that he can actually stand up here now and speak in front of everyone, which most probably he would not be able to do. For me, it's an achievement for myself that, you know, I can bring him back here today. It's an achievement for himself to be able to stand here today and say what he's got to say. And also, I would like to point out to anyone else, you know, as my fellow members have actually said tonight, some of us, you know, unfortunately are not here today because of, you know, certain tasks they had to go through being a mentor. And when you go into doing mentoring, like anything else, I mean, mentoring, you know, you have to put a lot of commitment into it with your mentee. It's something you've got to take from your heart, you know, and you've got to say to yourself, I want to commit myself to do the work of a mentor. Mentoring is not just saying, you know, I meet someone and they don't want to do it. You've got to try with them, you know, it's like your partnership. You've got to try and help that person along the way. Some, you know, mentees might not be easy. Some of us have had an easy road through this course, and I can assure you, I've heard some of the stories along the 6 months. Some have been, you know, we can laugh at it as mentors of what went on, but I could assure you, if you was in the place of the mentor who was actually dealing with the mentee, you would not be laughing because you'd be thinking to yourself, well, why the hell did you give me someone like this? Because this is not me. Some of us are more fortunate than others.
I know I was fortunate.
Well, that's right. I mean, so you can be matched up with anyone as a mentor, and you have to take on that responsibility. So it's not going to be an easy road. No one's saying it is. But if you're lucky, you're lucky. You're not. Be prepared.
Be prepared and patience.
Again, I'd like to point out to everyone, thank you all for being here tonight. Ali, I'd like to say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Well done. That's great. That one actually inspired me.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much. Still, we need to wait for Mamadu. So, Zephyr, you have something to say? Your lady is not here. You can say.
Is there a socket around here? Socket.
Yeah, where the microwave is.
Ah.
Everyone, my name is Zita. My name is not here, but
Where the microwave is.
I wanted to propose bring back our background was Zita. My mentor wanted to be a mentor.
Right.
So we tried looking for jobs. She was looking for a part-time job, doing even like reception or something that she doesn't need mobility, doesn't need sitting all day. So we suggested that she could look into childminding, and we researched and found some information. We requested the information back from the council. And she got the information, and we found that it's not that hard to become a childminder. And but the thing was that she was going away for 5 weeks, so she couldn't proceed with job search because if she goes away, she finds a job. She goes away, she can't have a job. So she went away. We were not in touch for a few weeks because she went for like 6 weeks to India. She got back. We got back in touch, and we saw each other, and we went through the information pack we got from Neon Council, and she looked into that, and she's thinking of looking after kids. And in the meantime, she's met one of other mentees in this program, WHEAT program, and they're setting a business together. She's going to be selling clothes, and she knows where to get them from. She brought loads of person, like she lived in a big house, had no money to pay for the house, so she had to sublet, like have someone to rent it from her. And now she's selling her house. She's moving into a beautiful one-bedroom flat. She's going to have some money left, so she's got money to start a business, and I think she's become a more happy person.
I wish she was here. That's good. That's fine. She's on holiday.
She's got all the symbols online.
All right, that's fine. Right. Benedict, do you have something to say?
Come on,
Well, it has been a pleasure coming to this place on the application when I saw the advert about mentoring and mentees, mentors and mentees. I came up here for some time. It was not possible to match me with a mentee. At the later stage, one was married with me. Unfortunately, it was not long when we arranged our first meeting.